Hi everyone and welcome back to Next Diecast. For today's video I'll be showing you and reviewing this 1/18 scale 1955 Ford Thunderbird made by Yatming Road Signatures. I've had this model for such a long time now. I played with it as a kid, so it is a bit beat up, as you'll see throughout when I do this review. But you can actually still find this model today. It comes in various colors, including yellow with a yellow top and a yellow and black interior. I think also like a light green with a white top. There's a bunch, but this model's been made for probably 20 plus years now, so finding one shouldn't be hard. And it came in a variety of colors and everything like that. Yatming also makes the 1957 Thunderbird, which is similar to this one, only the hard top includes porthole windows in it, which was added in 1956. But overall, despite this model's age and the condition that I have it in, it's a pretty good model, especially alongside my 2003 Ford Thunderbird, which I also have a review of. Let's go ahead and get into the details here. We'll start up here with the front of the model. Yatming did a pretty good job with these headlights here. The peg actually looks like a bulb, which is nice to see. It isn't just like an awkward looking peg. It kind of forms the shape of the light bulb that would be in the real car. These lower lights here are just kind of done in chrome, but they still look pretty good. This Thunderbird logo right here is painted on nicely. I think they changed it after 55, but it says Ford on the top part there, and it has two checkered flags there. Bumper is a bit scuffed up for me playing with it as a kid, but other than that, it does look pretty good. Nice and solid. It's not loose or anything like that. Grille looks a bit cheap. It's just kind of done in all chrome. I kind of wish they would have at least painted these little squares black so it looks like it's like a solid grille or perforated grille, but it's just kind of like one chrome piece from a distance. The red tablecloth even like reflects off, which doesn't look that great. But again, they made this model starting in like the 90s, so detail back then wasn't as good as it is now, I would say, for sure. Wheels look pretty good. They are very kind of wobbly and loose, and they bow out when you have the car sitting for a long time. They're very loose, actually, as you can tell here. I'm trying to just... there. You can hear it more than you can see it, but it is kind of an issue. I have to keep like straightening out the wheels like this when I have the car on my shelf. The chrome's kind of wearing off some with age. Doesn't look that great from a distance, but it kind of adds to the character of the car, I guess. Steering is a bit tough, and there's no suspension. Paint quality on the car is overall very good. It looks great in this black and white with the two-tone interior there. The hardtop is removable, which is nice to see. Full metal, too. It isn't just plastic, so that's a really cool touch as well. I think the car looks good with the top on or the top off, if you ask me. These vents on the side here, they're done with separate chrome plastic, which is nice to see. V8 badges on either side of the fender, another nice touch. There's Thunderbird embossed on either side of the taillight here. That's fully painted on. It's not a sticker or anything. It doesn't really pop out either. It's just kind of like a inscription on there. It still looks pretty good though. So, the taillights are no longer on this model. I broke them off a long time ago when I was a little kid. So my grandfather and I made this car new taillights by painting this area silver and adding these little red circles there, so they look like taillights. So, they look convincing. We kind of did the best we could without having to buy a whole new model. But it doesn't look that great with like the hole there and everything. But your model's going to have taillights if you buy it new, especially. And the taillights look pretty good. But the thing is, mine just pulled right off of it, if I can recall. They weren't glued on or anything. So be careful with that if you get this model and give it to a kid, because they might pull it right off. So I would take them out yourself and glue them right back on. So yeah, these don't look like the best taillights, but I mean, they'll do for now until I get a new version of this model, I suppose. Don't give your models to kids, because they will destroy them, as you can see here by my example. The trunk does open, as you can see here. It no longer stays open, and it's kind of like this shiny gray lining. Doesn't look that convincing. Still looks pretty good, though. The underside of the trunk lid is kind of like unpainted. It does look good, though, at least. The fit and finish isn't that great. As you can see, when you push down, it kind of pops up back here. That's just a factory defect, I'm guessing, but I don't really know. Engine detailing does look pretty good, if I can keep the hood open. Here we go. Full detailing on the engine here. It says Thunderbird on either side of the engine block. There's even a little Ford logo on this battery here. There's even a fan too, which is a very, very nice touch. Yatming usually does a good job with their classic car engines, not so much with their other detailing, but this one does look pretty good. You can see underneath the hood, there's kind of like a little bit of glue from this vent there, so that's a bit odd. But on the underside of the car, you can actually see the rest of the engine. If you can tell there's the red of the main block, and then the piping is back there. And the exhaust pipe actually goes throughout. Oops, almost knocked that over. There's kind of like a reservoir back here. I think it's for the oil. So we'll go ahead and close that up. We'll take a look at the interior next. Pretty good job on the interior here. This steering wheel will not come with the model. I had to add that on there because I broke off the actual steering wheel a long time ago when I was a little kid. But I think it does a decent job of looking like an actual steering wheel. It's a bit too small for the model. It does still work though. I had to use glue to keep it on there. Again, this kind of proves why you shouldn't give your models to little kids, because they'll break things like the steering wheels and the taillights and everything like that. The seats have a nice kind of two-toned pattern on them. They look like actual leather too if you run your finger across them, so that's kind of cool to see. Nice visors, they're done in white. There is a crack on this windshield, I forgot to add that, also from me, probably as a little kid. There's these floor mats down here which look great as well. Did a pretty good overall, they did a pretty good job overall on this interior in terms of its detailing. If you can ignore the kind of aftermarket modifications we had to do to this model, it's a pretty good model for your collection. I think any Thunderbird from this era looks amazing, especially in black. Any color really looks great. So if you collect, classic American cars, this will look great in your collection, for sure. So, as always, thank you all for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe, and make sure you follow my Instagram page, which is Nick's Diecast page, and that's all lowercase and no spacing. Thanks for watching.